course, is that your elbows are your weapons. They can be used as weapons against the attack as well as the attacker. So in this case, I'm doing a vertical strike up into the chin. Could be to the sternum or solar plexus. It does not always exclusively have to be a head target. If somebody's attacking my head, wherever I charge in, my depth of penetration is more important in many ways than my specific target. Because if I aim center line on somebody, I will hit something. So it's more about the forward motion, covering that distance, coming in. From here, of course, you're able to pick up on either side, depending, right, on what you're trying to accomplish. On the forward trajectory, what I've been doing is this. Okay, and for this, I'm going to do the same thing, but because I want to turn and face here, and I generally don't want to be in front. Okay, so one of my kind of basic rules is whenever possible, you don't want to be in front of somebody, but you want to be facing them. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this as a rudder here to essentially flank or come at kind of an off angle. I don't want to do this if I can help it. I want to deflect and come in more on a. I'm just going to use this rudder idea. Do them in both directions, so essentially about 10, 15 each side. Then I'm going to add another little bit to it. But for example, I'll do it this way so you can see it. I'm going to do the same thing, right? Sliding up and hitting. Now so I'm going to have my daughter give me a little visual prop here, okay? So she's been outside working in the yard, so she's embarrassed and sweaty and all that, but she's good. So if she were to reach out towards me with it, just put your hand out.
This one?
Yeah, so from the inside, right, my response would be to come around here, right? From the outside, I would have to change it, right? So that's why I'm saying this is just, it's an adaptive process. You just kind of have to figure it out on the fly. Whenever possible, I want to be like on the outside, right? So in this situation, this is what we're doing essentially. I'm working on that motion. Does that make sense? And if she was approaching me, back up just a little bit, if she's walking towards me, this reach out whenever you want, like you're gonna grab me, right? So this is what I'm doing, right? As her hand comes up there, even if she grabs my shirt or whatever, crouch, right? I'm doing this. So it's really simple, really nothing to it. And if she were choking me, it would be the same exact motion. There's no difference in this stuff. This is what I'm trying to do is to give you like the least amount of skills and let you go like this with them versus a whole bunch of ideas. So if she was like this, side choking, choke, both hands.
Oh.
Yeah, right. So this is happening, right? I'm still going to do the same deal, right? I'm popping off, whatever that looks like for your finish. Okay. If I end up on the inside, what I would do is hook off this one, which is just like we do for our full choke practice, and then in. That's what I'm trying to get you to think through, right? So you just have to be aware, like, it depends how somebody approaches you, the angle they approach you, the way their hands are reaching out, what you're going to get for an outcome. You can't control what they're going to do, but you can control what you do, right? So you have to be able to, put this into practice. How is this going to happen? And move appropriately. Right. So from the side then, so this motion, when I'm kicking my foot back here, I'm personally envisioning that I'm going to the outside of their hand, arm, shoulder, whatever. Okay. A good follow-up could be this, to the back of their arm, to their chin, depending on if they drop their hand, depending if they're reaching and you press it down. Like when I do this, I'm also dropping onto it. Or I could also do overturned elbow. I could do horizontal elbow. Doesn't matter what the tool is that you use, as you know, Bill. I'm very much about the general make shit work principle. So this motion could be easily converted into that. All right, whatever. From here, you could hammer, change positions. Right, so there's lots of ways this could continue. If you wanted to, you could end up, right, and entering with more of a boxer's setup. You could actually end up with the supported hammer fist off of this same motion, right? I go from here. Makes sense? Pretty simple. But from here, then, you can just keep moving.
I so wish I lived closer.
Well, hopefully we'll be down there. Marcy's talking about June again, so we'll see. So one of the principles that I bring over from the CLOC training is I do not give a shit what tool you use. I don't like to codify what tools you use in what situations, because I just don't think it matters. Situationally, if you get too isolated on, I have to use X, Y, Z, then it becomes a process that causes a hitch. What I would rather see you do is generally understand how to move around an opponent, be adaptable, and constantly changing what you do. Not to the point where you never get a good practice, but like, if you get the core movement of this, getting offline, again, whatever's appropriate, whatever you are as a individual are comfortable with, right, is all good. So just for fun, we're going to change it up. We're going to do the same thing. We get startled. I want you to use this motion here, basically the slip. This is what we just did is this evasion, right? By putting ourselves in this position, we've just done the slip. What I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you rotate into the back arch, or the lean rather, for a spleen shot in this case. Okay, just use that little body hook, shovel hook. Yeah. I avoid pattern conversations.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you can. I've done so many female triangle, male triangle, whatever.